Hello students, welcome back once again. This is the part 2 of hydrocarbons, chapter number 13, in which today we will be discussing about alkenes. Alkenes are unsaturated hydrocarbons containing at least one double bond present in it. And alkenes have a general formula of CnH2n, means whenever carbon's number is n, the hydrogen number will be its double. Structure of double bond. Carbon-carbon double bond in alkenes consists of one strong sigma bond and one weak pi bond. As you see in the structure of double bond, here you could see sp2 hybridized orbitals of carbon overlap each other to form 3 sigma bonds, and an unhybridized pz orbital of carbon atoms overlap through sidewise and they form pi bond. Now let's see some of the rules in the nomenclature of alkenes. First one is identify the longest chain containing both carbon of the double bond. Second, replace ANE with the ENE. ANE we use for alkanes. Here we will be using ENE since it contains double bond. Third rule is the longest chain is numbered from the end nearest to the double bond. Next one, the compound having 2 double bonds ends in a diene. Next one, a cyclic compound is named as cycloalkene. So a word cyclo will be added as prefix before the alkene. Next one is numbering in cycloalkene starts from the carbon containing double bond. So always remember, numbering will be done from the carbon in the cyclic ring from which the double bond is present. Here there are some of the structures and their IUPAC names are given. First one is CH3CH double bond CH2, that is propene, and second one is butanone, third one is butadiene, next one is buta-1,3-diene, next one is 2-methyl propionine, and the last one is 3-methyl butanone. Next we shall look at the isomerism in alkenes. In structural isomerism, it mainly shows position isomerism. Here you could see 2 structures in which double bond is present in the first as well as the second positions. Only the position of the double bond is changed. So first case it is 1-butene and second case it is butadiene. As well as the same compound can be written as 2-methyl 1-propene also. These are the different isomeric forms of same molecular formula. Next we shall look at geometrical isomerism. Children, do you know what is geometrical isomerism means? Geometrical isomers are possible only when each carbon of double bond is a stereocenters. There are 2 different types of geometrical isomers. First one is cis isomer. 2 identical atoms or groups lie on the same side of the double bond is called cis isomer, and in trans isomer, identical atoms or groups lie on the opposite side of the double bond. As you see in case of first cis-2-butene, CH3 groups are in the adjacent sides or they are in the same side of the double bond, whereas in trans-2-butene, CH3 groups are in the opposite side of the double bond. So students, geometrical isomerism is of 2 types in which we have cis isomers as well as trans isomers. Next we shall discuss the method of preparation of alkenes. First one from alkynes, that is from the triple bonded compounds. Alkanes on partial reduction with the calculated amount of dihydrogen in presence of palladized charcoal partially deactivated with poisons like sulfur compounds or quinoline gives alkenes. So children, alkynes on reacting with the hydrogen in presence of palladized charcoal. The partially deactivated palladized charcoal is also known as Linder's catalyst. So what is Linder's catalyst? Partially deactivated palladized charcoal is known as Linder's catalyst. So alkynes on reacting with the hydrogen. So here actually addition of hydrogen takes place. So here one of the pi bond is broken and triple bond is converted it into double bond. That means hydrogen is added up. Alkynes on reduction with the sodium in liquid ammonia form transalkenes. Same thing if you do in presence of sodium in liquid ammonia, we get transalkenes. In the other case we have got cis alkene, here we got transalkene. Next we shall look at the preparation of alkenes from alkyl halides. That is dehydrohalogenation. Alkyl halides, that is halogen substituted alkyl groups, on heating with the alcoholic potash eliminate one molecule of halogen acid to form alkenes. This reaction is known as dehydrohalogenation. Hydrogen as well as halogen is removed. The removal of halogen acid, that is HCl, HBr or HI can be removed. That's why it is called removal of halogen acid. The hydrogen atom is eliminated from the beta carbon atom. Therefore, it is also called beta elimination reaction. Children, here you have to see is the halogen atom attached carbon is called first carbon. That is the alpha carbon. Okay. The carbon attached to the alpha carbon is called beta carbon. Okay, so adjacent carbon to which halogen attached. From that carbon, when hydrogen is removed, this reaction is also called beta elimination reaction. Elimination reactions are reactions in which a certain species is removed from a particular compound. Here, HX or HCl, HBr or HI is removed or eliminated out. So these reactions are called elimination reactions. Next we shall study about preparation from vicinal dihalides. Dihalides in which two halogen atoms are attached to two adjacent carbon atoms are known as vicinal dihalides. Children, look at this example. CH2Br, CH2Br. Here Br is attached to adjacent carbon atoms. So this type of halides are called vicinal dihalides. Vicinal dihalides on reacting with zinc, they produce ZnBr2 as well as alkenes. Here we got CH2 double bond CH2, that is our ethene is formed. This is another method of preparation from vicinal dihalides. Again I am telling you, vicinal dihalides means dihalides in which two halogen atoms attached to two adjacent carbon atoms. Next we shall discuss about preparation from alcohols by acidic dehydration. A water molecule is eliminated from alcohol molecule in presence of an acid is known as acidic dehydration of alcohols. Here, as we have seen already in case of hydrohalogenation, here we have dehydration. Water molecule is being removed or eliminated out. Here alpha carbon is the carbon to which OH group or alcoholic group is attached, and just nearby carbon is called beta carbon. In this case, OH as well as H is removed and together water molecule is removed in presence of concentrated H2SO4, and we get the desired product as ethene. So a water molecule is eliminated from the alcohol molecule in presence of an acid. and this reaction is known as acidic dehydration of alcohols. Next we shall look at the physical properties of alkenes. First one is alkenes are non-polar compounds. They are insoluble in water and soluble in non-polar organic solvents. They are less dense than water. The alkenes has a boiling point which is lower than the corresponding alkanes. Straight chain alkenes have higher boiling point than isomeric branched chain compounds. So students, what are the main physical properties? Alkenes are non-polar compounds. They are insoluble in water and they are less dense than water. Alkenes has a boiling point which is lower than corresponding alkanes. Straight chain alkenes have higher boiling point than isomeric or branched chain compounds. So these are the physical properties. Now let's move on to the chemical properties. First of all, we will discuss about addition of dihydrogen. Alkenes add up one molecule of dihydrogen gas to form alkane. So double bond will break up. Into that place, one hydrogen will be added up to alkenes in presence of Pt, Pd or nickel, that is palladium, platinum or nickel. They produce corresponding alkenes. Next we have addition of halogens. Halogens react with alkenes to form vicinal dihalides. Halogens react with the alkenes to produce vicinal dihalides in presence of CCl4. Here you see ethene CH2CH2 plus Br2 gives CH2Br, CH2Br, that is 1,2-dibromomethane is formed. Next we shall look at addition of hydrogen halides. It's very important. Hydrogen halides like HCl, HBr, Hi add up to alkenes to form alkyl halides. So children, addition of hydrogen halides is another chemical property in which hydrogen halides add up to alkenes to form alkyl halides. CH2 double bond CH2 plus HBr gives CH3 CH2Br. So double bond is broken. In those places, hydrogen and Br are added up. Here we have to look at a rule that is called Markovnikov's rule. Addition reaction of HBr to unsymmetrical alkenes. It follows the Markovnikov's rule. According to it, the hydrogen atom adds to the carbon atom that already has larger number of hydrogen atoms when HX adds to alkenes. So this is actually meant for unsymmetrical alkenes. The first case we have seen is a symmetrical alkene. Now let's look at the unsymmetrical alkene. So here the negative part of the addendum, that is the adding molecule, when HX is actually broken up, HBr, let us take an example of HBr. HBr is broken, then H positive and Br negative is formed. So here Br negative is the negative part of the addendum or adding molecule. So that will be attached to that carbon which contains the lesser number of hydrogen atoms. So what is Markovnikov's rule states is, the hydrogen atom adds to the carbon atom that already has a larger number of hydrogen atoms, and the negative part of the addendum will add up to the carbon which contains a lesser number of hydrogen atoms. So here we can have two different possible structures are there, that is 2-bromopropane also can be formed as well as 1-bromopropane also can be formed. But according to Markovnikov's rule, negative part of the addendum will attach to that carbon which contains a lesser number of hydrogen atoms. So according to that, Br will attach to the second carbon only. Why? Because that contains only one hydrogen atom and first carbon contains two hydrogen atoms. So Br will attach to the second carbon and first structure is more convenient to form according to Markovnikov's rule. Now there is an anti-Markovnikov's addition, or it is also called peroxide effect or Karash effect, when the reaction takes place in presence of peroxide as catalyst. So the reaction will be just opposite, that is called anti-Markovnikov's rule. In presence of peroxide, Addition of HBr to unsymmetrical alkenes like propane takes place contrary to Markovnikov's rule. This happens only with HBr but not with the HCl and HI. Here, the negative part of the addendum, that is Br, can attach to carbon atom which contains more number of hydrogen atom. That is the second case that we have discussed in the Markovnikov's rule. So here benzoyl peroxide, that is the peroxide. In presence of peroxide, addition of HBr to unsymmetrical alkene takes place contrary to Markovnikov's rule, means just opposite to Markovnikov rule, where Br will attach to the carbon which contains more number of hydrogen atoms. So children, I hope you understood the difference between both. In case of Markovnikov's rule, the negative part of the adding molecule will attach to that carbon which contains a lesser number of hydrogen atoms. And in case of anti-Markovnikov's rule, negative part of the addendum will attach to that carbon which contains a more number of hydrogen atoms when the reaction proceeds in presence of peroxide as a catalyst. Next we have addition of sulfuric acid. Cold concentrated sulfuric acid adds to alkenes to form alkyl hydrogen sulfate by electrophilic addition reaction. As you could see here, during the reaction, CH2 double bond CH2 plus H2SO4 produces ethyl hydrogen sulfate. This is the reaction in which addition of sulfuric acid takes place. Next we have addition of water. In presence of few drops of concentrated sulfuric acid, alkenes react with water to form alcohols. So this is another interesting reaction where addition of water takes place in presence of few drops of concentrated sulfuric acid. Here 2-methyl propene has been converted it into 2-methyl propan-2-ol. Next we have oxidation reaction. Alkenes on reaction with the cold dilute aqueous solution of potassium permanganate produce vicinal glycols. That is CH2 double bond CH2, that is our alkene, on reaction with the cold dilute aqueous solution of potassium permanganate. So in presence of potassium permanganate in cold water, it produces ethane 1,2-diol. That is a glycol is produced. That is a reaction in which addition of water molecule takes place. Next we have acidic potassium permanganate or acidic potassium dichromate oxidizes alkenes to ketones or acids depending upon the nature of alkene. So here 2-methyl propene converts to propan-2-on. So children, these reactions you need to remember because we can use it for the conversion reactions. Another one is but-2-ene can be converted it into ethanoic acid. So acidic potassium permanganate or acidic potassium dichromate oxidizes alkenes to ketones and or acids depending upon the nature of alkenes. So in the first case it produced a ketone, whereas in the second case it produced an acid. Next we shall discuss about another interesting topic, that is ozonolysis. Ozonolysis of alkenes involves the addition of ozone molecule to alkene to form ozonide. Ozonide is an intermediate formed. This reaction is highly useful in detecting the position of double bond in alkenes. So wherever double bond is there, double bond breaks in such a fashion and there all the three oxygen atoms added up and they produce an ozonide. Here you see CH3CH double bond CH2 on reacting with the ozone, the double bond between CC breaks and three oxygen atoms are accommodated, and after the reaction the products formed are CH3CHO as well as HCHO. The bonds breaks in such a fashion that two aldehydes are formed. These reactions are called ozonolysis. It involves the addition of ozone molecule to alkenes to form ozonide. Next we have polymerization reaction. Polythene is obtained by the combination of large number of ethene molecules at high temperature, high pressure in presence of a catalyst. This reaction is known as polymerization. The simple compounds from which polymers are made are called monomers. Here CH2 double bond CH2. They undergo polymerization and produces n number of CH2 species. They are called polythene. Here CH2 double bond CH2 is the monomer and the product formed is called polymer, that is polythene. So this reactions takes place at high temperatures as well as high pressures. So students, with this we have completed the discussion on alkenes. We will discuss about alkanes, that is triple bonded compounds, in the coming module. Thank you and have a nice day.